Well, looky what I got, another action camera from Mgcool. But you may say, but didn't you just do a review on the Mgcool, the Explorer Pro? Well, I did, but this is the new Explorer Pro 2 coming right up. But before we get into that, I want to just do mail time real quick. Mail time, mail time, yes, it's mail time. I got something really cool, and let's take a look and see what it is. No. It is a t-shirt that says, worth it or not. Now that is cool. This is from Janice H. from Boston, Mass. But you didn't put a note in there or anything. So thank you very much for the shirt. I'll put it on right now. So as you can see, the shirt fits me great. Thank you very much, Janice. I appreciate it. Very nice gift. Hey, anything that says worth or not on it, I like a lot. And by the way, if you're wondering about the scruff that's going on, yeah, I'm doing No Shave November. Although the first 2 days was great, and now it's kind of halted a little bit. So I'm kind of scrubby, homeless hobo November right now. But enough of my unshavenness and my new shirt. Let's get to the camera. Alright, it's the latest offering from Mgcool. It is the Explorer Pro 2. It is their native 4K action camera. Now this one's sporting the Sony IMX179 sensor. It's a third generation backside illuminated BSI sensor. It's supposed to be really good for night shooting, and also great performance. And also their Shark Eye 6G wide angle HD lens is supposed to help with distortion correction, and that's something that Mgcool uses. This is the most exciting part, 2-inch touchscreen. Now that's something I was really looking forward to from Mgcool. Now let's take a look at the Explorer Pro 2. Last time it came in a little box. This time it comes in a nice little hardshell case, which is really nice, and it is packed full of little goodies inside. So the first thing that you're going to see is the camera. It's going to be in its waterproof case. Now it's supposed to be good for 30 meters or 100 feet. Some of the other things that come with it. Now this I thought was really neat, just because you don't see a lot of action cameras offering it, but a little mini tripod. Now, it's not going to hold a whole lot of weight. It will probably struggle just a little bit holding the camera in this waterproof case. But, you know, all in all, hey, you get a free little tripod with it. It's not going to be like that little Manfrotto right there, which I use a lot. But free is free, and something that's added in that I don't see a lot of action camera companies doing. And the rest of the stuff that you get are a lot of the other GoPro style accessories, a little clip on the bicycle handlebar, your USB charging cable for your batteries, and a nice little instruction booklet that is in English, and it is very thorough. It's very easy to comprehend and know exactly what the camera is capable of. Another nice thing is it comes with 2 batteries. 1050 milliamp hour battery. Now they're claiming 100 minutes at 4K 25 frames per second. Because the 2 of the batteries came with it, so that was real nice. I know your other little GoPro style clip-on accessories that came with it. It wasn't a whole lot, but it was enough that will get you by. And an important thing right there, that skeleton case, because you can use that inside your car as a dash cam. And then the case itself is very nice, where you can stick everything in, put your extra battery right there in that little slot, and it's a nice little hard shell case. I like it because now you can travel along with it, and it made it really worthwhile to me. So let's look at the camera. You got your typical ports, a microphone on the left side, micro SD card, your mode button, which is also your power button up front, up and down toggle switches through the menu, shutter button up on top. Let's go ahead and turn it on. Takes just a little bit. It doesn't initialize automatically, but it does take just a little bit before it starts. But once it starts, boom, there you are. And like I said, 2-inch touchscreen. And just to show you some of the resolutions, it's got 720, 1080, 2.7K, and of course 4K at 25 frames per second. Now, if you're going to choose that, you have to hit the top shutter button to select that option. You've got slow motion, your exposure, contrast. It's, your basic adjustments in there, although sharpness was not one of them. So just keep that in mind. Also, you have your upside down mode, so if you want to turn it upside down, because that's the way that you need to mount it in your car or on your bicycle. And, but it's very nice. It's very well built. The screen is very nice, 2-inch touch screen. It is pretty responsive in my opinion. On the bottom is a battery drawer. I wish companies would get to the sliding drawer that's actually hinged instead of this little nail drawer, but it's an extra battery inside, and who can complain about an extra battery? I can't. Turns off very quickly, but you know what? Let's get to the good part, which is video. Alright, testing out the new camera from Mgcool. It's called the PRO2. This is recording now 4K at 25 frames per second. See how the sharpness is and color detail. Now the sun is going down behind me, as you can see. Now I'm recording at 2.7K, 30 frames per second. You can see my shadow right there. I'm 6'6", but I'm not that tall. Now 1080p, 30 frames per second. See how that looks. And now one of the most popular modes or resolutions, 1080 at 60 frames per second, just because it's good for action shots. See how the white balance is there. So far, everything on the back of the screen looks really nice. You still have to stick it in the computer just to see how it looks. But it looks good so far. So what I can tell so far from the camera, it does not offer electronic image stabilization or any type of gyro effect. So I'm just holding this handheld. Later on I'll do a test with a gimbal. Just so you can see. But right now what I'm interested in is detail of the bricks, of the roof, of the leaves from my magnolia tree. Now there's no sharpness setting for this camera, so you can adjust contrast, but there is no sharpness that you can adjust. So we'll just see how sharp the image is. I do like sharp images, not overly sharpened, but when it's just nice, just watching a little bit of white balance correction going on right there. We go from washed out, because I want to say that the metering for white balance is probably set for center on this camera, so whatever is directly in the center of the image is what's going to be white balanced. Alright, doing a little outside test with the Mgcool. This is the new PRO2 Explorer Pro2. This one is now a native 4K, which is not interpolated, shoots at 25 frames a second. The 4K to me is a little bit stuttery. But here's my Challenger, all dirty. Got some bird poopas. What I want to show you now is, if you get a gimbal, whether you get the Evo GP Pro or like what I'm using right now, the Feiyutech, the G4 QD gimbal. I like the QD because it's got that little clamp mechanism up on top, which makes it very easy just to stick the camera in, clamp it down. It's spring loaded. You don't have to worry about tightening up screws. But just to give you an idea of what stability looks like with a gimbal with this camera. You know, as always, we're going to do a quick little audio test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right now, the camera is approximately 2 feet from me, just to give you a little idea of what the audio quality sounds like. And I also wanted to throw in a couple of still images here. This is done at 16 megapixels. So a little shot of the Challenger. Shot of the sky. Now I've done no color correcting, no color grading in post, just so you can get an idea of some of the still images that come out of the camera. I think that the video is a little bit better than the still images. But overall, what are my impressions about the Mgcool Explorer Pro 2? Well, I think it is a great buy, especially considering the price point for a 2-inch touchscreen action camera that shoots native 4K at 25 frames a second. Now, I know it's not 30, but considering the price point, I think it's a great buy. So is this something that I think is well worth it for the price point? Yes. And considering that it's a new camera, it's a new release for Mgcool, there may be some firmware updates that come out in the very near future that will address some of these other issues, maybe with image stabilization, regarding sharpness and whatnot. But I'll leave a link in the description below so that you can check out the new Mgcool Explorer Pro 2 yourself and see what you think about it. And as always, thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up and be sure to share it. And also, if you have a question, comment below because I respond to all comments. And if you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe today and click on the bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a video.